Ring the Bell TV, it's your boy Dan the Man. Luis Ortiz versus Andy Ruiz just went down. What a fight. Well, at least the beginning of the fight, man. That shit had fireworks. It was a good start to the fight by Andy Ruiz, man. Well, both fighters, really. Both fighters. Andy Ruiz adjusted. That was the first time him fighting a southpaw, and I think he adjusted quick. I mean, he had a little trouble maybe in the first round adjusting, but I think he adapted to Luis Ortiz's style quick, and you would have never thought that was the first time him fighting as a professional fighting a southpaw, because yeah, he put Luis Ortiz down twice in, I think it was the second round, and that just showed you Andy Ruiz his hand speed is deceiving. For the way the guy is shaped, looking like some short, chubby guy who doesn't look like he's got any type of speed in him. His speed is deceiving. And Luis Ortiz learned that the hard way, mate. I mean, he's counter-punching. He's them type of guys where, like Lennox Lewis said in the commentary, you don't want to commit to any punches because you know there's going to be something coming back at you at speed. And that makes Andy Ruiz dangerous. Andy Ruiz is up there, mate. Andy Ruiz is really up there in, dare I say, top 10 at least. I would have said top 5, but nah, there's guys above him. But definitely top 10. Both of them are. And yeah, Andy Ruiz is a problem still. I think that second fight with AJ, he let himself down. He definitely let himself down. But the way he looked last night, if he, stays with that level of discipline and looks after himself and lives and breathes boxing like you're supposed to, yeah, Andy Ruiz is a problem. He's a problem, and it was a good fight. It was a good fight. Luis Ortiz, you always know you're going to be in a fight. Yeah, stepping in there with King Kong, yeah, you know you're in a fight. Very skillful. He's got that amateur pedigree, that Cuban style, very technical. But Andy Ruiz is a tough nut. He's Mexican. He's got that Mexican heart, but he's also got underrated skills. He's also very technical. And I feel like Andy Ruiz, if he stays disciplined, can be world champion. He's only 32. He's only 32 years old, so he's still got years in this thing. Where for heavyweights, they reach their proper potential when they're in their 30s. So Andy Ruiz has a lot to offer in that division, mate. If he stays disciplined, like I say, he's got a lot to offer in that division. He's a problem. He's going to be a problem for a lot of the guys. He's going to be hard to beat. Like, I really look at it like he's only lost to AJ, if I'm being honest. I don't feel like he lost the fight against Joseph Parker. I really don't. I didn't think it at the time, and I still don't, But hey, that's what he says on the record, so we'll go with that. But I really feel like the only fight he lost clearly was that second fight with AJ. He's gonna be, he's gonna take a lot to beat. Andy Ruiz is, he's a problem in that division. Well, Luis Ortiz, I gotta give it to him, because after those knockdowns, how can I put it? The experience came through. You know, he showed his experience, he showed his skill level, and was able. Because I really thought after them 2 knockdowns, considering his age, 43, I thought he was done. I thought Andy Ruiz would get him out of there, but nah, he managed to compose himself and done quite well. Won quite a lot of the rounds after that by just staying at a distance, using his reach and ring generalship, and just boxing Andy Ruiz. But Ruiz was always a threat. I feel like Ruiz showed a lot of skills in there as well. To be able to hold his own against a skillful, bigger man like Luis Ortiz, yeah, he showed me something that I already knew about Andy Ruiz because he done it against AJ. But to me, Andy Ruiz has a lot more in the locker than some give him credit for. It's not just the fast hands, but it's also the skill level, his head movement. You know, he hasn't got the fastest feet, but he's good at what he does. He's good at what he does, and he's got a hell of a chin as well. He took some heavy shots from Luis Ortiz in that fight. Some people would have been out of there. But Andy Ruiz is a problem. He's a problem. It was a decent fight, man. I enjoyed it. It was a decent fight. What next for Andy Ruiz? You know? Before I even get to Luis Ortiz. I think Luis Ortiz is going to be one of those. I don't ever see him, the way boxing works nowadays, I don't see him at his age. He ain't got a lot of time left in the sport. And I don't really feel like he's ever going to get his title fight, man. Especially losing that fight there. I don't think Luis Ortiz is ever going to get his title fight. He most probably still got a few fights left in him. And dare I say, they might use him as a journeyman now for fighters that are showing potential. You know, it might be one of those where, put him in there with Luis Ortiz and let's see what he can do before we move him on to challenge for titles. That's why I feel like Luis Ortiz, he has become, especially after this fight. But as for Andy Ruiz, there's good fights there for him, mate. I would love to see him in there with Dillian White. I would even like to see a rematch with Joseph Parker because that fight was very, very close. So I wouldn't mind seeing that again. I wouldn't mind seeing him there with maybe the likes of Hughie Fury. And he's in the mix. He's definitely in the mix. And I could see Andy Ruiz having another title fight. I could see him being champ again. Because you take away like I said, there's only 2 people that's head and shoulders above the rest. That is Usyk and Tyson Fury. And if those 2 were to retire, then the likes of Andy Ruiz is right out there, mate. Is right out there. Because how old is Usyk now? 35. In a few years, 2 years time, 3 years time, I don't know if Usyk is still gonna be there or performing at the same level. Well, the guy's he's very disciplined, so I won't put it past him. But I'm just saying, if in about 3 years time, the likes of Usyk is out the game and the Tyson Furies, I see Andy Ruiz being, one of the guys to, that's going to be up there. But congratulations, Andy Ruiz, and the boy's back. The boy's back. Looked good last night, man. Looked good. So I'm looking forward to seeing what's next for Andy Ruiz. Anyway, it's been your boy Dunderman. Ring the Bell TV, like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Salute.